starters, he was pretty young, late 30s, with loads of charisma. When he talked about something, you really wanted to believe him. His ideas weren't super conservative. They were common sense. That was his campaign slogan, the common sense revolution. The only flack I caught over working for the congressman came from Melinda. To say that she was un-Republican was to understate the matter by 1,000%. On the outside, she was somewhere between goth and punk, but her gut was pure, unadulterated liberal. Her heart bled for every twig and spotted owl. If there were a people for the ethical treatment of amoebas, she would have joined. To her, there was nothing more despicable in this world than corporate profits, unless the money could be diverted to buy whiteout to erase Christopher Columbus from all the history books. You join the Republicans? Leo, what's wrong with you? You should meet Congressman DeLuca, I argued. He's the real deal. He's the devil. Come on, I snorted. Oh, sorry. The devil is the guy with the pointy tail, plotting for everybody's soul. Like a supernatural being has nothing better to do than obsess over whether or not I pierce my tongue. P.S. Mind control. Nobody controls my mind, I defended myself. In all the time I've known you, she said dramatically, I never thought you'd get suckered in by the big lie. There was no arguing with Melinda when she started a sentence with, and all the time I've known you. Besides my parents, she knew me longer than anyone. We were toddlers together, beating each other over the head with toys while our moms had coffee. As far back as I could go, there had always been a Melinda. She knew everything about me, except McMurphy. I didn't tell anybody about him. This was Melinda's official response to me working for the GOP. She volunteered for DeLuca's opponent. The Democrat? Not in your life. She signed on to stump for a candidate named Vinod Murty. I don't remember the party affiliation, but their only two issues were legalizing marijuana and yogic flying. Don't ask. Vinod ran out of money before Election Day and left the state, sticking his supporters with an $1,100 tab from the local vegan restaurant. Our guy won by a landslide. I was hooked. Success is a heady business. Here's an example of the sheer nerve of Melinda. She actually expected me to bring her along on the victory party cruise that Congressman DeLuca threw for his campaign staff. Absolutely not, I told her. You work for his opponent. Go on his cruise. Maybe he's got a rowboat. Yet, even as I was arguing, I knew exactly how it was going to turn out. She was going, and I was taking her. Period. There were no threats, no bribes. She simply refused to accept that it wasn't going to happen. And it happened. She was already pretty punked out by then, so she stood out like a sore thumb. The cruise was a nightmare. Gates couldn't take his eyes off her, as if a rare exotic monkey had somehow found its way onto our boat trip. She badmouthed the congressman from bow to stern and back again. She got into a beef with Fleming about her spiderweb tattoo, and wound up giving him the finger in front of half the Connecticut GOP. Is that your girlfriend, Leo? Shelby asked in awe. I tried to laugh it off. God forbid! But you guys came together, right? What could I do? Deny it? Old friends, I mumbled, like from the Cretaceous period. Later that night, I saw Shelby making out with Fleming on the poop deck. If I'd known that getting flipped off by a goth punk was such an endorsement in her eyes, I'd have made a deal with Melinda to punch me. As parties went, it wasn't my favorite. Still, that was the night Representative DeLuca offered to be our sponsor for a chapter of the Young Republicans at East Brookfield Township High School. At that moment, in the glow of his election victory, we would have followed the guy over the rail into the chilly waters of the Long Island Sound. We were sold. Funny thing, throughout the whole ride, I moved heaven and earth to steer Melinda away from the congressman. It made sense, right? The distinguished gentleman from Connecticut shouldn't have to be abused on his own boat trip. But when their paths inevitably did cross that night, Melinda was totally polite and respectful. She even shook his hand and congratulated him on his victory. It was the weirdest thing of all about Melinda. Just when you thought you had her figured out, she'd do the exact opposite of what you expected. Gates was bug-eyed. I think she scared him. As for Shelby, I don't think I was really in love with her. That was probably just McMurphy. Why did I let Melinda push me around? Sure, she was stubborn and determined, but she wasn't the mafia. All I had to do was say no and stick to it. I never did. For some reason, I was incapable of standing up to the girl. I definitely wasn't attracted to her.